Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jeff Roediger and Friends Podcast Network. Today, we have a special guest, and we're starting a new series in the state of New York, focusing on educators, teachers, and professors that are in the public system there. And Ben Murphy, who is a financial advisor, has a niche in that marketplace. And so, Ben, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff.
So before we talk about your story and why you focus on educators, could you give a little background to the audience as to your financial practice there in Albany?
Sure, be happy to. One of the things when I first started, I started with Prudential as a registered rep. And back in those days, it was predominantly life insurance. And then everybody wanted to get into the financial services business. So they came up with different products to entice an ever learning population that they could have money into the market while buying the products that they needed. Well, they were very complicated, and sometimes you just needed to step back a little bit, give them the information, and let people decide. And I found out that was the best way to keep moving forward. I also understood that life insurance wasn't the only way to help people. And I started acquiring the licenses for mutual funds, variable annuities, and ultimately a Series 7, which allows me to trade stocks and bonds as the client needs them. So it's been over about 20 years now, and I've got a nice little practice, always need to grow. So that's why I'm here. One of the reasons why I'm here.
So what led you into saying, "Hey, I want to help educators in the state of New York"? What drives you to really focus on their needs? Can you share with the audience, predominantly they're public educators out there, why you focus on them?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I had 4 kids. And I had some great teachers that helped my kids along the way. I should say the kids had great teachers. A couple of different school systems, and elementary teachers have a special place in my heart because they are there for the kids. There's absolutely no question. All teachers are, but there's a kindness to them that stands out amongst all. And then my mother worked in a library. So it was always about learning and education and kids. And sometimes I believe that the teachers get so caught up in what they're doing to help other people, they don't take care of themselves. And I'd like to help them. And there's some things I think we can do to do that.
Now, you mentioned to me that you also previously coached. Was it high school?
Yes. I was in a high school locally, a couple of high schools, and I did it for about 9-10 years. And when I was a junior varsity coach, I had worked with the athletic director at the time and the principal, and we set up a couple of programs to make sure kids stayed eligible. And I would go talk to the teachers and let them know that they could certainly keep the kids after school if they needed help, and that I would not hold the kids back from that. All they needed was a note from them, and that worked out pretty well. I had one teacher walk out in the field and come to me and talk to one of the kids, so I thought that was the highlight. And that
Right.
all of a sudden, the other 15 kids paid attention. So that was a special day.
So this is the introduction of a series that we have dedicated to educators in the state of New York and in the public system. And Ben and I are going to start discussing the mistakes, the planning mistakes that Ben sees with each of you. So our goal with this session and future episodes is to allow you to have a resource to go to if you have questions, if you have concerns, and then point out mistakes others have made that you can avoid before you retire. So Ben, I appreciate you dedicating this time, and we look forward to the next episode.
Well, I do as well. And I'd like to point out that everything isn't necessarily a mistake as much as being led down a path of an ever-changing landscape. Things that were good 10 years ago have been refined, just like teaching methods. And in the financial services business, you have to stay current, and the continuing education that we take every year helps us do that. So I look forward to sharing that with the teachers and all the professionals in those schools. They're special people.
Well, then join us, each of you out there. If you've joined us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're catching this on one of the podcast networks, make sure that you follow us and look for the next episode where Ben and I get into some of the, well, we're entitling it the mistakes, but also, as Ben said, lack of education and just helping make sure that you have knowledge on your options. And so we're going to take this into the 5 what we would call potential dangers that you could fall into in your retirement system and in your benefits prior to retirement. So Ben, thank you. We look forward to our next session.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. I look forward to coming back.
And look for the next episode to be posted shortly. And we look forward to helping each of you. If you have questions in the meantime, you can get a hold of us at info@govresource.com. Check out our website, publicpensionchecklist.com. Get a report card on the teacher retirement system in New York on the website. Great information there. You can also book a meeting if you want to discuss any retirement or benefit issues with Ben. That's what we're here for. So check it out, publicpensionchecklist.com. And we'll see you back here shortly. Thanks a lot.